experience to, let's say, speak on a topic like this. Now, if somebody wants to say, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, tell them to go look at your page. Now, I'll wrap up this video with this last point. In no way, shape, or form am I against these types of videos. I call them talking head or like personality type of videos. These videos are strictly for entertainment and they allow your viewers to connect with you more as a person or to understand you more as a person. I think for them to even get to the point where they're even willing to understand who you are as a person, you need to provide value first. You provide value essentially by teaching people different things when it comes to boxing, because people want to know different combination techniques, great conditioning. Conditioning is key as well, because it's not just throwing punches. You gotta have the conditioning, the cardio as well. So teach people different things you do for conditioning. Teach people the basics when it comes to self-defense. Say, hey, gotta properly throw a jab, or you guys are throwing jabs wrong, you guys are throwing hooks wrong. Address a problem you normally see people do when it comes to boxing. Say, hey, you guys are always doing things like this. Address that problem. Make those hot take videos, because you're coming from a place of credibility. Establish that credibility. You have a skill a lot of people don't have, so use it to the best of your ability as much as you can. So best of success to you, my boy. Take care. You talk every single day, yet for some odd reason when someone puts this glowing rectangle in front of you or a camera in a ring light, you all of a sudden can't speak in proper sentences anymore. Can't complete sentences, you're stuttering, you're blabbering, you're confusing, mixing up words. Why is this the case? This is something that a lot of content creators actually tend to struggle with. But you want to know what's the one reason why? Feedback through self-critique. See, I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet that there's a decent amount of adults that are watching my videos. I guarantee a lot of you guys probably think you're relatively decent drivers. Yet if I were to hold a third-person POV camera behind your car to show you how you really drive, you would be like, oh, damn. Is that how I drive? But see, you've never had that happen to you because there's no reason for you to critique your own driving. You've never had an instance where you can see from an outside perspective or an external perspective to see how you actually drive. A lot of y'all don't use your turn signals. You're crossing over lanes and stuff. Exactly. So you guys don't know that you drive like that because you have never had to critique yourself. Same thing with your videos. The only way you get better is by watching back your footage saying, I did not so good of a job explaining myself there, or I took too long with the example in that video. I didn't like the hook in that video. It wasn't strong enough. There's nothing more humbling and aggravating as a content creator than when you have a long session of like 6 or 7 recordings and you're sitting back watching all your recordings and you're like, dude, I sound like a freaking idiot. And then guess what you got to do? You got to get dressed, do your hair, freaking fix up your face, put on a damn shirt, and re-record every single one of those videos because you're frustrated. All right? That self-critique is annoying in that instance, but I guarantee you more than likely will not repeat those mistakes that you made in those previous recordings in the second ones. See? It's very frustrating and it's very aggravating. But you having that, you are your best source of feedback. Watching your own videos, critiquing your own videos. Once you start doing that, that'll be the only way you actually get better at realistically doing anything. But in this instance, the only way you get better at speaking on camera. The reason you are in the 200 to 300 view jail is because you have yet to learn how to A, have an interesting hook to grab a viewer's attention, 2, how to be engaging or entertaining throughout the entire video by either being A, entertaining, B, providing value, or C, being relatable. Please understand, you need to be correct every single video. You ever watch one of those content creators and they use the same sound effects in every single one of their videos? Every single video they have, that same sound effect you hear over and over and over again. And it seems like they always have it a certain number of times in all their videos. You want to know why? Keeps the audience engaged. Literally, that's it. They learn a strategy that keeps the audience engaged. Or let's say they tend to have visuals and B-roll in a number of their videos to almost give a visual of what they're talking about. Why do they do that? Because it helps to keep the audience engaged. They learn that one time and they do it every single video. That's the thing. You don't just get right once. You have to get right every single time. Y'all do know that, right? I'll give a great example, right? Because this is always why I say life is like a video game. Let's take Ghost of Tsushima, for example, right? This game, right? The bosses get progressively harder the more you play the game. Now, let's say, for example, they're not going to make you fight the end level boss with beginner level gear. Nah, that doesn't make sense. That wouldn't be right. But guess what? The more you play the game, more than likely you should be more accustomed to the game's controls with enough experiences in a number of different battles to then be better equipped to fight a boss towards the end of the game. No one can sit there and coach you and be by your side throughout every process or every little edit. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I don't want somebody to do that for me. I said, please, somebody just tell me what the hell am I doing wrong with these videos? And no one ever came to tell me that. I had to figure it out. I did, okay? But when I figured it out, guess what? I can implement that shit every single video, no matter what. And it's great to see that the shit that you learned that took so long to learn pays off. You gotta go through that burden, that treacherous period. Because if you don't learn from that, you'll never be able to replicate your success over a course of time. Who would you guys say is your favorite content creator? There's probably a content creator that immediately comes to mind. Cool, okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to list out 3 things that keep bringing you back to every single one of that person's videos. What are the 3 things that you love so much about this content creator in terms of their videos or their streams as well? Cool. Now, the reason why I asked you to list out 3 is because those 3 things, you're now going to ask yourself, what is stopping you from implementing those 3 things into your videos? I often say that content creators usually make some sort of resemblance to a content creator that they often watch, or content creators that they often watch, because they're able to be attracted to certain characteristics. And if they watch that creator enough, they then have a better understanding of how to, let's say, be funny, or how to, let's say, be entertaining. Or I'll give a great example. For anybody who knows FaZe Adapt finds some way to relate things in real life to video games. He may say, oh, I was on a wrong server or some shit like that. But see, he's only able to make those jokes because he's played so many video games. So think about it. You play video games, you could probably do the same shit. Just think about, how does this relate to a video game I played? Poof, that's it. Or let's say somebody has amazing mic quality, amazing camera quality. They have an amazing background, whatever the case may be. Understand, please ask yourself, what is stopping me from implementing, those 3 characteristics into my videos? There's no restrictions from it. Then what are we doing? Start implementing those same characteristics into your videos, because who's to say that you are not going to name the same content creator for the same 3 reasons as somebody else? My point exactly. There's a few things that don't actually help you grow on social media, but for some reason, everybody thinks they do. Number 1 is hashtags. I'm not gonna lie to you, yes, hashtags can categorize your video and maybe put you in a certain category within a certain niche. Yes, but if we're gonna be very honest, there's no way a video can flop if you put the wrong hashtags or the wrong tags, let's say on a long form YouTube video. I used to think this for years. Not necessarily the case. Your videos just suck. If the video sucks with great hashtags, it doesn't matter. Number 2 are follow for follows. I'm sorry, but if you're a